Welcome back, guys. Today you asked me for a request and I got you. It's the top 10 best high flying finisher moves of all time, and I'm just going to kind of point out one superstar. Sometimes it's impossible to point out one, but I'm going to point out one superstar that I think personally does the best one. So let me know in the comment section what's your favorite high flying finishing move, and let's get straight into the list. At number 10, and the reason this is so low on the list is because it's more used as some kind of mid-match popping move than a finishing move, even though I think if used correctly it could be a finishing move, and that is the suicide dive. The suicide dive has become just everybody does it. It's not anything special anymore. If you go to an indie show, everybody's going to do it, which takes away from exactly how dangerous it is. Somebody jumping out of the ring and somebody having to catch them. And if I have to point at one superstar, I'm going to go for AJ Styles' suicide dive. Number 9 is the moonsault. We've got the PME, the prettiest moonsault ever. We've got the BME, the best moonsault ever. We've got so many different variations of the moonsault. We even have Vader, a guy that's 400 pounds doing a moonsault and doing a pretty good one at that. The moonsault is just basically a backflip from any high position onto your opponent. And if I have to point out one, I know this is going to be very controversial because there's the PME, there's the BME, but my favorite moonsault of all time has to be Kurt Angle. I just absolutely love Kurt Angle's moonsault. Number 8 is the shooting star press. Now, I'm not referring to Brock Lesnar landing on his head at WrestleMania 19. And Billy Kidman, even though he had a good-looking shooting star press, half the time he landed on his opponent's head, which is not ideal. That's not really what you want to do in a finishing move. But the shooting star press is it looks so good if pulled off correctly. And if I have to pick just one, I would go for Jushin Thunder Liger's shooting star press. Number 7 is the flying elbow drop. Of course, popularized by Randy Savage. He wasn't the first one to do it, but he popularized the move. Then CM Punk paid tribute to Randy Savage by doing it. Just basically jumping off the top rope, landing with your elbow on your opponent. And then, for my money, the best flying elbow. I know it's vintage Macho Man, but the best one is Kairi Sane's elbow. The way she just arcs her body and just jams onto her opponent. And if we get that with the on the knee from and then from Asuka and then just flying elbow, it's a thing of beauty. Number 6 is the coup de grace. Obviously, the number 1 pick for this is Finn Balor. Basically, just jumping from the top rope and just stomping your opponent in the chest. So this move looks absolutely devastating, but if done correctly, if you shift your body weight at exactly the right time, you don't hurt your opponent. And it just looks absolutely devastating. And when Finn Balor jumps off and he lands on your opponent, most people genuinely think he's going to break some ribs or cave in someone's chest, but he does it to absolute perfection. Number 5 is Twisted Bliss. Now, unfortunately, we don't get to see the Twisted Bliss very often because most high-flying moves are considered babyface moves, and Bliss, throughout most of her WWE career, she played a heel or a bad guy, and unfortunately, we don't get to see it very often, but it's such a good-looking move. Alexa Bliss, when she just comes off the top rope and just turns her body around and lands on you, such a stunning move, and I must say, obviously, the number 1 for this is Alexa Bliss. Number 4 is the 630 splash. Basically doing a jump with rotating your body like a million times and then landing on your opponent. If this goes wrong, you land on your head or you land on your opponent's face, which is absolutely not what you want to do. And the number 1 for this is obviously Ricochet. Number 3 is the 540. Now the 540 is similar to the previous entry, just other way around. Jumping, twisting your body a million times and then landing on your opponent. If this goes wrong, you break your neck, you land on your head, you land on your opponent's head. All the things can go wrong with this. And if I have to point out just one, it's the 054 from Mustafa Ali. And number 2, let's get froggy, it's the frog splash. Now, most people think Eddie Guerrero invented the move, yet it was invented by his tag team partner back in the day, Art Barr, and Eddie Guerrero kind of used it to pay tribute to him, and so many people have used it since, mostly just paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero. But if I have to pick just one, I mean, it's so difficult. We've got the 5-star frog splash from Rob Van Dam. We've got Montez Ford. He gets incredible height. We've got Eddie, I almost said Eddie Guerrero, and then we've got, of course, Hornswoggle with his tadpole splash. We've got so many guys using this. Obviously, I'm just joking, even though Hornswoggle, love you. But if I have to pick one, it's got to be Eddie Guerrero, right? It's got to be. And number 1 is the senton, or specifically the swanton bomb. Now, Jeff Hardy's not the only one who does this move, yet his is called the swanton bomb, where a lot of people do a senton, a flying senton, but Jeff Hardy just absolutely took it, and he took it to a level that nobody has ever been close to getting this move to. So Jeff Hardy, you have my number one high flying finisher of all time. Jeff Hardy is just the best risk taker in wrestling history, in my opinion, of course. Guys, what's your top 10 high flying finishing moves, and which ones did I get wrong, which ones did I get right? Let me know in the comment section. Peace.